Literature. Literature.
Hey guys, now you're back in Oh My Literature Season 1 of College Edition. So, if last week we have talked about what is fiction, for this week we'll be looking at setting in fiction. So you guys might wonder, what is setting? Or what is setting in fiction? So don't you worry, we'll be discussing about that later. So the two short stories that we'll look at are Pak di Samat Cinema and The Happiest Man in Molo. So who wrote these two short stories? So these two short stories are written by Cik Husna Azhari. Cik Husna Azhari is a Malaysian writer of literature. She was born on 8 November 1955 in Kota Baru, Melo, Kelantan. So basically, these two short stories are actually in her first English anthology, an anthology of Kelantan Tales, which was published in 1992. So by looking at the title alone, we'll know that the setting of the story is mainly in Kelantan. So to further discuss about the setting in the story, let's move on to the students who are assigned to discuss more on these stories.
Now I will be describing about the physical settings in two short stories by Cik Husna Azhari, which are Pak di Samat Cinema and The Happiest Man in Molo. In the village of Molo, there is a local condo which is situated near Pak di Samat's house. It is said that the teachings of the local alim in the local condo can be heard through Pak di Samat's house. Pak di Samat is a gedebe, but he is very respectful towards the local alim. Most importantly, the existence of the condo shows that the village of Molo is one of the literate villages in Kelantan. Next, Latrobe Road has been mentioned several times in Pak di Samat Cinema. Latrobe Road is not very convenient to drive on, especially after raining. However, the people during those times do not own vehicles like cars, so they feel that development is not necessary. Unlike today, we prefer to use Black Tar Road because it is more comfortable for driving. Lastly, the physical setting that can be seen in Pak di Samat Cinema is the cinema. The cinema is situated near Gedebe Road, and it is in the middle of Kota Baru Road and Pasir Putih Road. The cinema has been built on a strategic land, and it has attracted bangsawan troop to do their plays and the schools to do some events. However, after some time, the world is developing into the age of electronic mass media. The bangsawan troop has disappeared slowly and the schools have upgraded their facilities, therefore the cinema is not in use anymore. The mosque is one of the physical settings in The Happiest Man in Molo. It shows that the intellectual development is increasing, the same as in the previous short story. It also shows that the nature of Islam is slowly developing because the mother is continuously telling about the retribution of Allah. The village market square is another physical setting that can be seen in The Happiest Man in Molo. This place is usually full of people, and it is a perfect place to be used to create a commotion in a story.
The relationship between setting and character in both of the short story is in Pak di Samat Cinema. It happened in Molo, a small village in Kelantan. Molo actually Pak Di's hometown. He grew up and lived in Molo. When he got married, he also lived in Molo with his family. In Molo also, Pak Di Samat became a gedebe. The second setting in Pak Dia Samad Cinema short story, it happened in Molo Ketere Road. In this setting, Pak Dia Samad opened his cinema called Pak Dia Samad Cinema or Panggung Pak Samad. Panggung Pak Samad also the first cinema in Molo and in his town. Second short story is The Happiest Man in Molo. In this short story, the first setting is in mosque, where Ing get his rest and sleep after he lost everything, his family, his land and his house. In mosque also, Ing was forever cooled by the water of the kolah after his amuk. The second setting in this short story is in village market square. In this setting, Ing was running and shouting with no clothes on. He also shouting and babbling that he was hot. In this place also, where other villagers tried to help him during his amok. Theme in both of the short story is a life changing in one person. In both of the short story, we can see that the main character face a life change in their life. The first short story, Pak Dia Samad Cinema, the main character, Pak Dia Samad, changed from normal person to a gedebe because of desperation. And then the second short story, The Happiest Man in Molo, the main character Ing changed from a normal person to a gambling addict, which in the end turned him into a happy man.
The nature of life of the people in Pak Dia Samad Cinema is the typical kind of villagers who are usually rubber tappers or paddy planters. For example, Pak Samad's wife is said to do the rubber tapping to keep the family fed and clothed. Second, the similarity in the nature of life in both stories, Pak Dia Samad Cinema and The Happiest Man in Molo, is that they portray the life of Muslims. For example, in Pak Dia Samad Cinema, Pak Dia Samad has so much respect for the local alim that he actually could control his temper when he is in front of them. And he also finally quits his job at the end of the story of being a gedebin. And second, in The Happiest Man in Molo, there are characters such as Tok Guru and Imam who has strong influence on the people.
In the setting of Pak Dia Samad Cinema, we can see that there is an adaptation of Siamese culture, for example, the practice of martial arts like Thai boxing and the superstitious beliefs, such as the media acts owned by Pak Dia Samad possess magical power due to the residence of guardian spirits. These two elements are the adaptations of Siamese culture. This is because Kelantan people are having a very close relationship with the Thai or the Siamese rather than other states in Malaysia. If you look back at the history, Kelantan is originally in the Malay Siamese states before it was being separated in the Anglo-Siamese Treaty in 1909. So Kelantan was having a close relationship with Siam than other states in Malaysia. So that's explained why there is an adaptation of culture in Melo. Islam came to Kelantan during the 13th to 15th century, and Kelantan is one of the earliest states in Malaysia that was given by Islamic teaching. During that time, Kelantan was called as Rambi Makkah, and the pondok are being used as a center of learning. So that's why the local alim received so much respect from the people in Kelantan. It was mentioned that Pak Dia Samad and Ing in The Happiest Man of Molo shows a great respect to the local alim. So in Pak Dia Samad Cinema, it mentions that he feared no one except for the local alim. And in The Happiest Man of Molo, when the writers questions about the actions of the local imam bought the land of Ing and built his house on it to her mother, the mother tried to kill her again and don't even want to listen to it. So it shows how much the people respect the local alim in Kelantan.
Okay guys, that's all from our group. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum.
Hello, class is in session. Put your hands up if you have a question.